Well, you got satisfied when the album was done, when it finally was done, and it was in the record store.
Just before the album was done, we were so busy.
Yeah.
And there's one thing people have to remember is that all these songs, both albums, all these songs were already written.
Yeah.
When we were doing the Metal for Mothers tour, we were headlining. Mantas was supporting. So basically, you know full well that when you're headlining a tour, you need an hour and 20-minute set.
Yeah.
If you're supporting, 40 minutes. Yeah.
It's enough. Yeah.
So what happened was that Steve had the whole list of songs. You know, ones I still can't remember now, but the list of songs was loads.
Yeah.
And he said, we have to work to this 1 hour, 20-minute set for Metal for Mothers tour. So basically, we were in the studio every day, running through, which started off 40-minute set, add another song, until it became 1 hour 20.
Yeah, yeah.
And so all them songs we were playing live, and even before we recorded the album, I said to Steve, have you decided on what songs are going on the first album? He went, no, not yet. He said, because we need to hold some back for the second album.
Yeah.
But unbeknownst to me, apart from Killers, because that was a later edition that we worked on.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, all the songs that we played live were going on the first two albums anyway.
Yeah.
So that made it around about an hour and 20 minutes. And so we picked the songs for the album. Halfway through the Metal for Mothers tour, we went in the recording studio. We quickly, I remember quickly going through so much stuff because Steve and Clive must have gone in and put the back down, the track down. With Dave, like guy guitar, Dave would go in and smash all these rhythms out. I would go in and then build the solos up afterwards and the vocals. But when the album was finished, we had to go back and finish the Metal for Mothers tour, which was an hour and 20 minutes.
Still, yeah.
But then while we're waiting for the album to come out, we get, I think this is right, or it might be not. Then the album's done, and then we do Top of the Pops with Running Free. And the funny thing was, then we got the Judas Priest tour. So now we have to take out half the set and do 40-minute set instead of an hour and 20.
Yeah.
So of course we end up playing all the first album at the Judas Priest tour.
Yeah.
But no, I always forget the title of it, and it's one of my favourite songs. Strange World.
Strange World, yeah.
So no slow songs.
No slow songs. No.
Just Remember Tomorrow, because it just slowed down a little bit. So we ended up putting Rothschild in. We ended up putting stuff from the second album. Then we added Killers.
Yeah.
And then slowly the set was there for 40 minutes, but powerful. and then it went on. When the album came out, it's the same old question. You're never happy with the final product.
No, perhaps not. No.
You know, everyone wants to go back and say, if I had my chance to do it again, do it. But then you'd never finish an album.
No.
You would never finish a song. If you keep going back, it's always that first or second take that's got the passion, the hunger, the rawness of it.
Yeah,
once you
power,
do it too many times, it becomes either a little bit polished
too
or
flat.
a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people ask me about the production and about, if you could record it again, if you had the technology that you have nowadays.
Yeah, maybe, but
come on, would it have taken away the rawness, the punk, the eagerness of a young band coming up?
I think just the punky vibe on the album, the power, the energy is just, it fits all. It's perfect. I just listened to the album when I was driving through here. It still fits after all those years.
Yeah, and even the guitar sounds. You know, we were using H&H valve sound, H&H's, and trying to get that distortion like we did on Top of the Pops. You know, the gain's full up and the volume's on half. You know what I mean? Sounds like a transistor radio. You know.
Nice.
So, but no, as I say, I think if you tried doing it any different, it would have taken away all the power and the energy.
Perhaps does.
That sort of.
But once the album was released, the summer of 1980 was pretty good, I believe. You're playing
Yeah.
at Reading Festival.
Yeah.
You're playing with Kiss.
Yeah,
How was the summer for you that year?
brilliant. We went away and done a few festivals in Europe, and one of the funniest ones was in Finland with Bad Manners, which was, they're a reggae ska band, and there's us, But no, we did some great festivals, the Priest tour, and then when the summer came, when they told us that we were going to do the Kiss tour, and as I've said before, I don't mean to sound insulting to Kiss or putting anyone down, but at the time they had changed a lot of their music.
Yeah, they did.
And we as a support band, whenever you're supporting a major band, and this support band is eager and hungry, you call it like they're there for the taking. That's the saying.
Yeah.
And Kiss were a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And but the most surprising thing, two big surprises, was that we couldn't support them in the UK because our fan base was getting to the point where it was bigger than theirs, or even the same.
Really?
Yeah.
At that point already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the biggest shock I got was that through that summer on that tour, because they were all big stadiums. Excuse me. Excuse me. They were all big stadiums, and most of them were outside.
Yeah.
So I remember in Italy or somewhere like that, we were driving through in the bus towards the venue, towards the stadium, and outside was all like parks and bars, little bars, t-shirts and things like that. And everyone was in the sunshine. Everyone's outside the stadium.
You're baking.
50% of them were wearing Iron Maiden shirts.
Yeah. Oh God, what's this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were sitting on the bus, all the band. Look at these t-shirts, and they're all waving, and we just couldn't believe it because we're supporting, and nearly everyone we were going past has got an Iron Maiden t-shirt on. So yeah, we were already on a buzz there.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah, but you became quick very famous, but in the fall you leaving Iron Maiden. May I ask you why you left the band? Because you are ready to go, actually.
Yeah. First of all, Rod Smallwood, very clever man.
Yeah.
I was older than Rod.
Yeah.
And he was always felt threatened of me because I had a bit of experience touring with Status Quo around Europe with RDB.
Yeah.
Now, Rod's he was an old-fashioned manager, whereas he would want to keep the whole band together.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him one day and I said, look, Rod, you can't keep 5 guys in a room together because in the end, someone will get tired, someone will get fed up, and people fall out.
Yeah.
And you can't wrap us in cotton wool. You've got to have a bit of space. You've got to have a bit of freedom.
Yeah, you need that. Yeah.
And the little bit of space means maybe talking to someone else, go out with someone else for dinner. Don't have to be with the band all the time.
No.
So that was our first falling out, if you call it that. And he said, I want to keep the whole band together. You got to wear the same t-shirts and all that. And he got to a point where I was just getting so fed up with it. And I said, look, I had a wife and child at the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't go and see him because whenever we were at home, he wanted me to stay with the band in a hotel and all. The old fashioned. He's like a headmaster.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where when we was on the tour, I used to take a cassette player with 2 little speakers and all that, and I'd have White Snake on, and I'd have the Eagles on, a little bit of George Benson, anything to calm me down and take the day, stressful day, travelling all the time, playing loud music. And I was in the shower and I had some music on and he heard it, banging on the door. Turn it off. What? Turn it off?
Why?
No. And he sat me down. He said, what do you think the Iron Maiden fans would think of the band if you're listening to the Eagles? I said, well, if I listen to Motorhead 24 hours a day, my ears are going to be shot.
Yeah.
And I said, so give me a break. Anyway, it got worse because I think at the time then we were, it was becoming a problem with the band and him. And then when we was again on the Kiss tour, and the people from the record company who I got on with really well, and a couple of times I jumped in the truck and I went travelling with the crew.
Yeah.
Loopy, Dave Lights, Pete. I get to the venue. Where you been? I'm with Dave, and I was here before you because I'm with them. Well, why didn't you travel with the band? I said, because I didn't want to. I wanted a bit of space. I told you.
Space, fun, your own time. Yeah.
Anyway, it got worse and worse.
Yeah.
And in the end, he just took it that I weren't into the band. I didn't like talking, mixing with the band.
No.
And and so as the tour come to the end, he I think he'd had enough, and I think he spoke to Steve, and Adrian had already been offered the job, but he turned it down because he was friends with Dave Murray.
Yeah.
Was a natural replacement.
It was, yeah.
And he knew the songs. And then when we got back, we went to a meeting in the office, and I said to him, well, let me ask you one question. Is it anything to do with my work? He went, nothing to do with the work.
No.
He said, your guitar playing, your singing,
that was
your
good.
commitment is fine.
Yeah.
He said, look, we can't complain. He said, but it's just, you got this thing about travelling with a band. I said, but it's not all the time. It's just every now and again you need your space.
Yeah.
And I think he'd already made his mind up with Steve. And so that was it. We shook hands. It was all done.
It was done, yeah.